And welcome to Wise Guys. These guys know sports. Had some technical difficulties on the last live. It's NFL Week 12. I'm going to preview some of these big-time matchups today in the NFL. AFC battle, Colts, Chiefs in the 1 o'clock window, in the 4 o'clock window. Eagles, Cowboys matchup, NFC East battle in Jerry World. Also, Shedeur Sanders, his first career start for the Cleveland Browns in Vegas today. And also tonight, Baker Mayfield versus Matthew Stafford, Bucks, Rams on NBC on Sunday Night Football. So I'm going to get into all of that before these games start at 1 o'clock and get my NFL Week 12 Wise picks as well. But let's start off in the AFC as Jonathan Taylor and the 8-2 Indianapolis Colts are traveling to Kansas City to take on Patrick Mahomes and the 5-5 Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are favored by 3.5 points. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff in Kansas City at Arrowhead. The over-under for this matchup is 49.5 points. Let's start off with the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are having a really, really good season. They lead the AFC South right now with an 8-2 record. They had a bye week in Week 11, and their quarterback is Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones for the season, 15 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 2,659 passing yards, completing 70% of his passes. He is not the best player on their offense. That is Jonathan Taylor. I believe Jonathan Taylor deserves to be at the top of the list in the NFL MVP conversation right now. Jonathan Taylor for the season, 189 carries, 1,139 rushing yards, 15 touchdowns. His rushing yards and rushing touchdowns lead all running backs in those two categories. And to me, at the top of my NFL MVP ballot is Matthew Stafford and Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor has been a bell cow for the Indianapolis Colts, and he is the best running back in pro football right now, period. When I look at the Indianapolis Colts overall, I think the Colts have a really, really good head coach in Shane Steichen. I think Jonathan Taylor is a elite player in the NFL. I like the Colts offensive line as well. I like their passing defense that has improved somewhat. They still are bottom half of the NFL in passing defense. I think it's gotten better with Sauce Gardner now. They're really, really good against the run. But my biggest question for the Indianapolis Colts is their quarterback. I don't trust Daniel Jones in big games. In 2 big games this year for the Colts, against the Rams and against the Steelers, Daniel Jones had multiple turnovers in both of those games. So I believe in their head coach, Shane Steichen. I believe in Jonathan Taylor. And I think their defense has improved with Sauce Gardner in their secondary when it comes to their pass defense. I still do not believe in Daniel Jones. I don't believe in Daniel Jones. And to me, in the Colts' 2 biggest games so far this season, Daniel Jones has turned the ball over multiple times in those football games against the Rams and against the Steelers. So the biggest question for the Indianapolis Colts is not about their offense. It's not about their defense. It's about their quarterback. And I personally don't believe in Daniel Jones as a quarterback that can take you on a deep playoff run. That's why I have questions about the Colts overall as a football team. Let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs are 5-5 right now. They are 3rd in the AFC West. This is a huge game for Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and their playoff aspirations. Because right now in the AFC West, the Broncos and the Chargers are both ahead of the Chiefs right now. In the AFC wildcard race, the Chargers, Bills, and Jags are all ahead of the Chiefs in the wildcard race. And the Chargers, Bills, and Jags all have the tiebreaker over the Chiefs. The Chargers, Bills, and Jags have all beaten the Chiefs this year. So this is a huge game for the Chiefs' playoff aspirations. Seriously. This is a huge matchup for the Chiefs if they want to be a playoff team. Because if the Chiefs fall to 5-6, their playoff hopes take a huge hit. Huge hit. So it's going to be key for the Chiefs to win this game. This is the Chiefs' biggest game of the season so far. Right now, Patrick Mahomes, 18 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 2,625 passing yards, completing 65% of his passes. The Chiefs' offense is one-dimensional. They cannot run the football whatsoever. Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco have both been inconsistent. So Patrick Mahomes has been their entire offense. And we know Patrick Mahomes is more than capable at being able to be effective as a quarterback and lead your football team. But Patrick Mahomes himself has been a little inconsistent. I remember last week against the Broncos in week 11, he threw a key red zone interception. And right now, the Chiefs cannot afford to have those errors if they want to win football games. So this is a huge matchup between the Colts and the Chiefs. This is a bigger game for the Chiefs than it is the Colts. The Colts are more than likely going to win the AFC South. But I think it's a huge game for Daniel Jones. Because if Daniel Jones does not perform well in this game, Colts fans, they're going to have questions about whether or not they are true contenders in the AFC because their quarterback struggles in big games. I highlighted earlier how Daniel Jones struggled against the Rams earlier this season in a big game, and he struggled against the Steelers as well earlier in a big game. And in both of those games against the Rams and the Steelers, Daniel Jones had multiple turnovers in those particular games. So I obviously trust Patrick Mahomes more than I trust Daniel Jones. I believe that the Chiefs will show their championship pedigree and their championship DNA. I'm rolling with the Chiefs to beat the Colts in Arrowhead in Kansas City. Chiefs 28, Colts 27. I'll be right back. Moving along, let's go to the NFC. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are traveling to LA to take on the LA Rams. The Rams are favored by 7 points. It's an 8:20 p.m. kickoff on NBC. And the over-under for this matchup, I believe, is 50.5 points. Might be 47.5. But let's start off with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Their quarterback is Baker Mayfield. And Baker Mayfield has really played really good this year. 17 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 2,365 passing yards. He's completed 64% of his passes. The Buccaneers, they will get Chris Godwin back. Last week, they lost against the Bills. The Bills beat the Buccaneers 44-32 in that game. But the Buccaneers were able to score 32 points without the services of Chris Godwin, without the services of Mike Evans, without the services of Bucky Irvin. I think the Buccaneers offense is an elite offense. And once they get back Bucky Irvin and Mike Evans, their offense will go to another level because Emeka Ibuka has been balling. He's been balling for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And he's been the most consistent target for Baker Mayfield within this offense. I thought Sean Tucker had a great performance against the Bills. And Sean Tucker has done a great job in the absence of a Bucky Irving. I think the Bucs offense will put up points against that Rams defense. I think Baker Mayfield will have some success throwing the football to Chris Godwin and Mecca Ibuka and Tez Johnson within this Buccaneers offense. Now, on the flip side, Matthew Stafford has been the best quarterback in pro football this year. And to me, he is leading the NFL MVP race by far. 27 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 2,557 passing yards, completing 66% of his passes. I think Matthew Stafford is the best quarterback in pro football right now, and the Rams offense is playing at an elite level. But I thought last week against the Seattle Seahawks, the Rams defense, they forced 4 turnovers against Sam Darnold, but they only beat the Seahawks by 2 points. The Rams beat the Seahawks 21-19, and you would have thought by the defense of the Rams forcing 4 turnovers against Sam Darnold, you would have thought the Rams would have won that game by a significant more margin, but they only won that game by 2 points. Sorry for the technical difficulties. They only won that game by 2 points. So the Rams offense is elite with Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua at receiver. I think Devontae Adams has proven to be a reliable target for Matthew Stafford in the red zone. Devontae Adams catches a lot of touchdown passes on fades in the red zone for the Rams. And so we saw at the beginning of the season, Matthew Stafford and Devontae Adams, they were trying to get their chemistry together. They have figured it out. And I believe Devontae Adams is a great red zone target for Matthew Stafford within this Rams offense. I'm interested to see if they can get Kyron Williams going in the running game because it's going to really help this Rams offense go to another level. But right now, Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford, they are the best quarterback head coach combination in the NFL. They are playing and coaching at an elite level right now. And to me, you have to consider the Rams one of the favorites in the NFC heading into week 12. And I think it's going to be a very, very high-scoring affair. But I'm going to roll with the Rams to beat the Buccaneers in L.A. at SoFi. I'll go Matthew Stafford 30, Baker Mayfield 27. But this is a game where two of these teams, and both of these teams will be in the playoffs. And this could be a matchup where they could both see each other later on in the season. Now, I want to talk about Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders is set to make his first career start this afternoon against the Las Vegas Raiders. It's a 4:05 kickoff. And Shedeur, in his first game action last week against the Ravens, he went 4 of 16. He threw for 47 passing yards, 1 interception. So, everybody's talking about Shedeur Sanders and his first career start for the Cleveland Browns. And everyone's talking about how this is a huge game for Shedeur Sanders. And everyone's talking about how this is a make or break start for Shedeur's career. I believe that this isn't a make or break game for Shedeur Sanders when it comes to his career in the NFL. This is a make or break game for Shedeur Sanders when it comes to his future with the Cleveland Browns. And so for me, this is actually the first week where I felt like Shedeur Sanders was put in a position to be successful. Because I said earlier in the week, and I went on record talking about how Kevin Stefanski, the head coach for the Cleveland Browns, he doesn't put Shedeur Sanders in positions to be successful. And quite frankly, to me, he has not helped Shedeur Sanders in his development as a quarterback. I think Kevin Stefanski has helped Dylan Gabriel, but to me, Kevin Stefanski has not helped Shedeur Sanders in his development as an NFL quarterback. And with Dylan Gabriel being out with his concussion, to me, this was Shedeur Sanders' first opportunity to get first team reps and develop chemistry with his offensive as far as cadence and develop chemistry with the receivers, with timing, with routes, and throwing the football. This was his first opportunity since he's been a member of the Cleveland Browns to be given an opportunity to actually have success on the football field. So, to me, this is not a make or break start for Shedeur Sanders when it comes to his overall NFL career, but it is a make or break game when it comes to his future with the Cleveland Browns. And I expect Shedeur Sanders to go out there and ball out. I think Shedeur Sanders has great poise. I think he was built for this moment. Not to mention, I think the Las Vegas Raiders have one of the worst defenses in the NFL. So I think Shedeur Sanders will have some success against the Las Vegas Raiders defense this afternoon. I'm going to say Shedeur Sanders will throw for 200 passing yards, have 1 passing touchdowns, and he'll go 20 for 30, 1 touchdown, 200 passing yards in his first career start for the Cleveland Browns. And I'm going to roll with the Cleveland Browns to beat the Las Vegas Raiders in Vegas. Browns 24, Raiders 21. But that's the stat line I got. 20 for 30, 200 passing yards, 1 touchdown in his first career start for Shedeur Sanders. And again, I do not believe this is a make or break game for Shedeur as far as his career, but I do believe it's a make or break game when it comes to Shedeur's future with the Cleveland Browns. Now, let me give my NFL Week 12 predictions. Let's start off in the Queen City as the New England Patriots, who are favored by 8 points. They are traveling here to Cincinnati to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff at Paycor. The over-under for this matchup is 49.5 points. The Patriots are the best team right now in the AFC East. They are a significantly better football team than the Bengals are. I'm going to roll with the Patriots to blow out the Bengals in Paycor. I'll go Patriots 31, Bengals 10. The Pittsburgh Steelers are traveling to Chicago to take on the Chicago Bears. The Bears are favored by 2.5 points. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff in the Windy City. The over-under for this matchup is 45.5 points. The Steelers, they dominated the Bengals in Week 11. The Bears, they beat the Vikings in Week 11. But the Steelers, I'm not sure if Aaron Rodgers will play in this game. I'm pretty sure he's going to fight to play. I'm not sure if we have any updates on that. Aaron Rodgers has been really, really successful playing in Chicago. Rodgers dominated the Bears during his tenure in Green Bay. The Bears, they have won a lot of close games this year. I think their luck runs out this week against the Steelers. I'm going to roll with the Steelers to beat the Bears in Chicago. Give me the Steelers 24, Bears 21. The New York Jets are traveling to Baltimore to take on Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are favored by 13 points. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff in Baltimore. The over-under for this matchup is 44.5 points. The Ravens are on a 3-game winning streak, I believe. the Ravens are trying to get into prime position to win the AFC North. I expect the Ravens to take care of business against the Jets. Ravens 34, Jets 13. Ravens beat the Jets in dominant fashion in Baltimore. The New York Giants are traveling to Detroit to take on Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions. The Lions are favored by 11.5 points. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff in Detroit. The over-under for this matchup is 50.5 points. The Giants are starting Jameis Winston for the second consecutive week. No Jackson Dart for the Giants. The Lions are fresh off of a very subpar offensive performance against the Eagles in Week 11. I'm expecting the Lions to have a bounce-back performance and beat the Giants in Detroit. I'll go Lions 34, Giants 17. The Minnesota Vikings are traveling to Green Bay to take on Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. Packers are favored by 6.5 points. The over-under for this matchup is 41.5 points. I thought Jordan Love and the Packers offense, they started to play better against the Giants in Week 11. No Josh Jacobs for the Packers in this game because it's a quick turnaround for the Packers as they play against the Lions in Week 13 on Thanksgiving. I think the Packers are going to beat the Vikings, though, in Lambeau this afternoon without Josh Jacobs. I'm going to roll with the Packers to beat the Vikings in Lambeau. Packers 30, Vikings 13. The Seattle Seahawks are traveling to Tennessee to take on the Titans. The Seahawks are favored by 13 points. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff in Tennessee. The over-under for this matchup is 40.5 points. The Seahawks will dominate the Titans today. Sam Darnold will have a bounce-back performance for the Seahawks as well. Seahawks 31, Titans 14. The Jacksonville Jaguars, favored by 2.5 points, are traveling to Arizona to take on Jacoby Brissett and the Arizona Cardinals. It's a 4:05 p.m. kickoff. The over-under for this matchup is 47.5 points. This is going to be a close game. But I'm going to roll with the Jags to outlast the Cardinals in a close game. Give me Jags 24, Cardinals 23. NFC East battle in Dallas as the Philadelphia Eagles, who are favored by 3 points, they are traveling to Dallas to take on Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. It's a 4:25 p.m. kickoff. The over-under for this matchup is 47.5 points. The Eagles are coming off of a subpar offensive performance against the Lions. They also had a subpar offensive performance against the Packers the previous week. This is a game, though, where I think the Eagles' offense gets it going. They don't have Lane Johnson. He's their tackle, and he is pivotal for this Eagles offense for protecting Jalen Hurts. But I think this is a game where Jalen Hurts has a big performance because the Cowboys' defense is below average. I think Dak Prescott on the other side will have some success against that Eagles secondary. George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb will both have big games. But I'm going to roll with the Eagles to outlast the Cowboys in Jerry World. It's going to be a close game. But I'm going Jalen Hurts 28, Dak Prescott 24. The Atlanta Falcons are traveling to New Orleans to take on the New Orleans Saints. It's a 4:25 p.m. kickoff. The Saints are favored by 1 point. The over-under for this matchup is 40.5 points. This game is irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. It's an NFC South battle. Give me the Falcons 27-24 over the Saints. Kirk Cousins will start in this game for the Atlanta Falcons. Those are my NFL Week 12 wise picks. Everybody go follow Wise Guys on Instagram and Facebook at Wise Guys Sports. I'll be back on previewing Week 13 in the NFL and recapping Week 12 as well. Everybody enjoy Week 12 in the NFL. Man, I'm excited for these matchups. Go, Pack, go. Packers will beat the Vikings. Don't forget, 30-13. And then in the other matchup, Colts Chiefs, I got the Chiefs outlasting the Colts 28-27. A big game with major playoff implications for the Chiefs. And in the nightcap tonight, I have the Rams beating the Buccaneers 30-27 in that NFC battle in LA. And I have Shedeur Sanders going 20 for 30, throwing for 200 passing yards, 1 touchdown in his first career start for the Cleveland Browns. Browns 24, Raiders 21. Those are my NFL Week 12 predictions. Y'all enjoy Week 12. Trey Larkins, Wise Guy Sports, signing off. Go, Pack, go. Y'all have a good Sunday.